Hi, I'm Danny at Danny's Do-It-Yourself Garage. Today I'll be replacing my expansion valve in my 2009 Honda Civic. Let's get started. All right, so my very first step to get this expansion valve in is I need to take these lines here off at the evaporator. And to do that, I need to come in and point that out for you. So right there, there's a nut and a bolt, and I need to get that out. So let's go ahead and do that now. So the next step is to pull off these lines, loosen them up. I got a 3/4 wrench and a 5/8. Actually came out a lot easier than I thought. So that one's loose. And on this one here, it's a 15/16. And I didn't have a big enough wrench, so I'm gonna use an adjustable wrench. And these aren't real tight, so that works out perfect. And then I'm gonna just loosen it from this bracket there. And then our next job is to go ahead and get that nut and bolt that's inside there. Let's see how, woo! There, that was good. There's still a little pressure in there, evidently. There you go. There you go, perfect. So here's my setup. I've got a 10mm socket, probably a 4-inch extension, and then a ratchet. This one swivels, which might help me a little bit. Just try to get it in. Ratchet on there. And then turn it. Once you break it loose, it comes off actually pretty easy. So what I don't want to do is drop it. Pulling it out. It's in the socket. So our next step is I need to remove this plastic holder right here. That'll allow the lines to move up and down and for me to remove them. And this is what I'm going to use right here, a little hook. And once you get that side, push. All right, it allows this to move around a little bit. And then let's get this off here. Come under here and remove these. There we go. So once the pipes are removed, we're still not done. We have to remove that stud down there. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is actually going to be a lot easier than removing that nut because there's nothing in the way now. Comes out pretty easy here. All right, so there it is. All right. And that's what I use to get that off. Same setup as before. So I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm done with the outside here, and now it's time to go in the inside and start tearing that apart. All right, so our next step, we need to remove the glove box here. We have a shield right here, a cover, and this is just gonna pull straight out towards the seats. There we go. So the only thing that's holding this in is these clips, 1, 2, and then another one right here. Also, we've got a couple of screws, one here and one here. These are going to be an 8mm head. There's one. The second one. And there we go, the glove box. So the next step, they want you to remove this plastic cover. They want you to cut it here and then right over here. So I've got a hacksaw blade. Hard to believe they want you to cut something, but that's what it says, so that's what we're gonna do. And the other side. All right, so this is the piece, and they say just discard this. So the reason for that was to get in here and be able to get this blower out. Couldn't have done it any other way. All right, so now we're gonna remove the glove box frame. There's two 8mm head. One there. And this one on the other side. All right. And now we can see the blower motor here. And this is what we need to remove next. So the first thing we need to pull off is this right here. Now, it's a 7mm. There's a screw here. And then there's another one in back here. And then a 10mm head screw right here. And if you have something like this, I purchased this years ago, in a 7mm, it'll make life a whole lot easier. And then I just have a nut driver there. But for this one, 10mm, let's get that off. Right. And then there's a clip here. There we go. All right. All right, so I got the two screws out. So there's one more behind here. I cannot get you a good shot on that, so it's actually right there. Go in through this way. Unscrew it, comes out pretty easy, and there's plenty of room. Once that comes out, pretty loose now. And it comes out. So if you look at it on the back side here, that's where it went. So now it's time to see if we can get this blower motor out. So what I'm going to do is first just come in and start removing all the clips and harnesses. One. This one down here needs to come out. There. Blower motor. That seemed to be okay. There's some stuff up here. And that looks to be about it. There's a connector over here. There you go. And then I can get the whole thing out of the way. All right, so now I'm gonna get in here and remove all the screws off the blower motor. First, I'm gonna do all the screws I can see. I'm gonna actually use a little electric here, make it go a little faster. So there's one. There's two. Let's see, three. I see one over here. Four. I see one. So I see one way up there. And looks like one or two possibly up on the other side too. It is right here. So let's see if we can get those out. I'm not sure you're going to get a good shot filming on those, but I'll do my best. All right, so this is what I'm going to use to get that. And probably that too, we'll see. looks like it's loose. I'm gonna use a magnet to go up there and get it. Go. So there's one. Let's get the other one. This side actually might be easier, but it's probably not going to be easier to film. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Same thing. Let me get the magnet up there again. Now let's make sure everything's good. It should come right out after now. All right, so everything should be out. This is ready to come out. I'm gonna gently do this here, slow. Bring it up here a little bit. All right, so here's the lower motor assembly. All right, so it looks like I got a bunch of screws to pull out, so that's exactly what I'm gonna start doing is removing these screws. I'm not sure which ones I do need to take out or not, so I'm gonna just remove all of them. And then I'll come back and see what's left. Here. One up here. Okay. Got as many as I could see here. Still doesn't really want to come out. Let's take that off. And then let's go ahead and remove this. And this. I was hoping maybe I could see something there. Still a little bit tight here, so it feels like there's still a screw or two holding it on, so let me investigate and see where that might be. All right, so I did find a hidden screw. Hopefully that's the only one, and it's right there. You're gonna need a long screwdriver to get in there. Let's see if I can get you a nice little shot of it. So, I mean, there it is. This is the screwdriver I'm gonna use to get it. But, God, it's right there. So let's go ahead and get that out. Okay. That's off, that's off. All right, so our last step, let's get this out of here. Note this kind of hand right there. All right, be careful with this so you don't damage the fins. Gonna go over on the bench. No oil on it, which is good, which means it doesn't leak. The expansion valve is right here. So let's get that changed over. All right, so now we're gonna replace the expansion valve. Here's the new one here. Open her up. It looks pretty close to the same. What I do notice is inside here, there's no plastic piece on there. And then if you look inside there, there's a little plastic piece in there. If I get closer, there we go. There's a little plastic piece in there. And then on this one, there's no plastic piece, so I hope that doesn't make a difference. And then this one's a Denso. So I read some good reviews on it, so wish me luck, man. I mean, it's a lot of work to put this in, but once you do it the first time, it would be a lot easier the second time. So I'm gonna try to reuse all this. So I've got me a little razor blade. Wasn't my best work, but it'll do. All right, so next step, just pop these off. And that's a 4mm Allen. Okay. Swing those that side. That'll go on that side. Kind of rocking it off a little bit. I'm guessing the O-rings. Holding it in. All right, so that's what that looks like. I mean, if you look at it, there is a little dirt in there. All right, and then So yeah, there is a little bit of dirt and grime in there. Maybe, hopefully that was the problem. But as far as looking the same, except for that plastic piece right there, they look the same. So let's get this put on. So it came with new O-rings, so we're using new O-rings, of course. Alright, the smaller O-ring is going to be that O-ring. And I actually picked up a whole assortment of O-rings just in case I needed some more. Okay. All right, that fit on there nicely. All right, so I did find torque specs, and it's 2.4 foot-pounds, which I have an inch gauge here, and that would equivalent to 1224, about 28, 26, 28, we'll go 25. Tape this little area right here. All right, so we're all set here. And of course, these holes here are going to be these O-rings here. And this was the pipe. So let's get this back together. This concludes the installation of my expansion valve. Don't forget to add oil if you replace the evaporator assembly. If you want step-by-step instructions on how to put everything back together or how to charge the system, I have videos on that, and I'll link them at the end of the video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.